Hey everybody, welcome to Beaming Notes, and today we're going to look at the critical analysis, theme, and tone of the poem If by Rudyard Kipling. Critical analysis. The poem If is a very well-constructed, insightful study into the art of living and becoming a perfect human being. It advocates some of the most important virtues and values of life, which forms the various sub-themes of the poem. The poem has been rightfully penned in iambic pentameter by Kipling, as this imparts the poem with a sense of balance and order which is in sync with the virtues of meaningful life which the poem prescribes. There's a sense of constancy in the rhyme scheme of the poem as well, which runs in the fixed pattern of ABABCDCD. The meter and rhyme scheme of the poem together impart the form of the poem with a semblance of order which goes well with the moral lessons of rightfulness which are to be gathered from the poem. The language of the poem is fluid, yet intricate wherever necessary. Overall, one can say that the language is moderately ornate without running into the danger of being indiscernible. Kipling does not assume a commonplace style while penning the poem. Instead, the style is lofty along with being inspiring. The inspiring quality of the poem owes itself to the language and the style which are out of the ordinary without making the poem too difficult to understand. The style and the language are simple because the poet clearly wanted to reach out to all sections of the society, irrespective of social stature or age. Last but not the least, the poem is deeply inspirational. It tugs at the strings of not just the heart but also the mind, because nothing that it says seems irrational in spite of being difficult to achieve. Even if we cannot prescribe to all that the poem advocates, the readers are unanimous in their understanding that the poem offers the most effective and valuable guidelines to becoming the most perfect human beings which we can be in today's world. There is something in the poem which motivates us to achieve our goals in life and becoming the best that we can be. This is solely because of the sincerity and conviction of the poem, which comes out very transparently in the poem. Theme. The overarching theme of the poem If is successful virtuous living based on values pertaining to integrity, rightful behavior, and self-development. The poem speaks to each and every reader on what it means to become a complete man and how he operates through the thick and thins of life. The various values and codes of conduct imparted through the poem form the different sub-themes of the poem, which are as follows. Rightful behavior. Most of what this poem advocates deal with rightful behavior, such as keeping a calm head and maintaining composure during times of crisis, instead of indulging in blame games. The poet also adds that we must not deal with lies or brew hatred in our hearts, even if the ones around us are doing the same. Upon achieving success or failure, the poet advocates the rightful stance of not letting any of these promotions or setbacks influencing us. Instead, we must understand the temporary nature of the ups and downs in life and go about our business in a steadfast, unaffected fashion. Modesty. Modesty is one theme which shines out in the poem. The poet asks us to never get too self-righteous, even if we have the best set of virtues and abide by strict moral codes. And yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. Money often comes in suit with arrogance. The poet urges his readers to practice modesty upon getting successful in life, so that he can fit in seamlessly with the kings as well as the common masses. Balance. Maintaining balance and control in all aspects of life is an important theme which the poem forwards. The poet asks us to give our maximum effort to our goals in life, but at the same time asks us not to make our ambition and dreams our be-all and end-all. He asks us to have faith in our belief system, but not so much that we become immune to the valuable opinions of others. Patience. There is also the theme of patience in the poem. The poet asks us to patiently wait for our efforts to reach fruition because all good things take time to materialize. Self-belief. Belief in the self is one another sub-theme in the poem. The poet asks us to not lose faith in our beliefs and convictions, even if the ones around us begin to lose hope in us. Risk-taking. The poem often showcases life as a gamble in which all our achievements might get washed away. The poet wants us to be willing to take that risk in life, as it will bring us closer to our final goals in life. Persistence. The never give up outlook towards life is one major theme of the poem. The poet asks us to keep striving towards our goals against all odds, even if it involves putting all our life's achievements at stake. Shall we lose all we have while trying to get ahead in life, we must not back down, but muster enough willpower and determination to start again from scratch. Time management. The unforgiving nature of time comes out in the last stanza of the poem. The poet stresses upon the fact that time, when lost, never comes back. So one must give every second of our waking minutes all we have to make the most of it. Tone. Kipling has assumed a didactic tone all throughout the poem If, which is in keeping with the moral life lessons which he imparts through the poem. Usually, poems with a constant didactic strain run into the risk of sounding too preachy. This is not the case with If, since Kipling, by virtue of his brilliant poetic craftsmanship, has managed to make his moralizing not only deeply motivating, but also very poignant. There are occasions in the poem where his tone becomes quite lofty in lines such as, "If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same." Then there are lines when the tone of the poem is infused with sincere urgency, which is ever so motivating. "If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on where there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on." There is also a hint of fatherly poignancy in the poet's tone when he ends the poem saying, "If you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, you'll be a man, my son." Hence, overall, the tone of the poem is one which is suited to the gravity of the themes which comes to the fore through the poem. Form and structure. The structure of the poem If is taut, neat, and symmetrical. It has been divided into 4 identical stanzas of 8 lines each. Hence, the poem has 32 lines in total. The meter of the stanzas is iambic pentameter, which means each line can be divided into 5 feet with one unstressed and stressed syllable each in that order. This gives the form of the poem a sense of cohesion and order, which is very much in keeping with the central idea of the poem, which advocates an ordered and controlled lifestyle. Iambic pentameter invents an ambience of control and order to any poem. The rhyme scheme. The first stanza of the poem follows the rhyming pattern of AAAA BCBC, whereas the second, third, and fourth stanzas follow the rhyming pattern of ABABCDCD.